life without her would be blasted mockery. Net him income was 50,000 euro per year. A year, she threw herself into him and froze there with a tenacity of a tick on a branded cow, and said with tears of joy, "Henry, I am thine." A carriage, a carriage drove rapidly up the avenue and stopped at the door. Sir Everard Fitzarmond, the famous London physician who had been telegraphed for, alighted and quickly ascended the marble steps. Lady Orchust met him at the door, her lovely face expressing a great anxiety and a grief. "Oh, Sir Everard, I am so glad you have come. You have come. He seems to be sinking rapidly. Did you bring the cream almonds I mentioned in the telegram?" Sir Everard approached his bedside of his patient and laid his hand gently on the sick man head. A shade of feeling passed over his professional countenance as he gravely and solemnly pronounced these words, "Madam, your husband has stroked." But soon his meaning flashed upon her, and she seized an axe that her husband was ac- accustomed to keep by his bedside as a weapon against his enemies, and stuck open Lord Orkut's cabinet containing his private papers, and the eager hands opened the document which she took therefrom. Then, with a wild, unearthly shriek, she fell senseless to the floor. Sir Everard picked up the paper and read its contents. It was Lord Orchard's will, bequest, bequeathing all his property to scientific institution which should have for its object the invention of his means for extracting alcohol from sawdust. Sir Everard glanced quickly around the room. No one was in sight. Dropping the will, he rapidly transferred some valuable ornaments and rare specimens of gold and silver from the center table to its pockets, and rang the bell for the servants. Sir Everard Fitz-Armond descended the stairway of Orcust Castle and passed out into avenue that led from doorway to the great iron gates of the park. Lord Orcust has been a great sportsman during his life and always kept a well-shocked tenor of curs, which now rushed out from their hiding place and with a loud yelp sprang upon the physician, burying their flanks in the lower limbs and seriously damaging his apparel. Sir Everhead, startled out of his professional dignity, gave went to a most horrible and blighting curse, and ran with great swiftness to his carriage and drove off towards the city.
Okay. So this whole passage is about Lord Oakhurst and his death. Okay, so there was this Lord Oakhurst who is dreaming, lying on the deathbed. He is dreaming about how he had wooed his wife. Okay, then uh, and how uh, he kind of mm, made her in agreement to marry him. So basically she was a beautiful girl who didn't wanted to marry this man who was bald, not a good looking guy. And when he says to her that he loves him so much that without her his life would be nothing but a waste, a blasted mockery is useless life, and that his income was 50,000 euros. Listening to that amount of 50,000 euros, she threw herself onto him, okay, and stuck to him like a tick sticks to a cow. So basically, okay, let's not give you the example of cow. If you would have seen these street dogs, you must have seen certain street dogs have those tiny insects on their body, that is tick. So it's like a parasite who is surviving on that dog's body. Similarly, cows can get tick, okay, and those ticks are like parasites. It's a disease, okay, it's a disease, and those ticks stay on that cow and suck all the nutrition from the cow. So on listening that amount of 50,000 euros, she threw herself on that man and stuck to him as if she going to stick to him, throughout his life for the money. Okay, and then she says, "Henry, I am thine." That means, "Henry, I'm yours." Okay, this is how they got together. Now comes back to the current scene. So this is the past that he was imagining lying on his deathbed. Now in the current situation, a carriage drove rapidly up the avenue, okay, and stopped at the door. So the carriage brought Sir Everard Fitzsimon. Okay, he is a London's physician who came to see this Lord Oakhurst. Okay, when he came, he quickly went up to see this man, but before he could see the Lord, Lady Oakhurst meets him, with a lovely face expressing anxiety. Anxiety means restlessness, okay, and grief at the same time. Grief because obviously uh, it's her husband who's on the deathbed, and she asks him that, I'm so glad to see you here, and he's sinking rapidly. That means he's having difficulty in breathing. And by the way, did you bring the cream almonds I mentioned in the telegram? So that itself tells you how worried this lady is about the Lord. Okay, not replying to her, the doctor approaches the bedside of the patient and gently lays his hand on Lord's head. Okay, even before using his professional continence. Continence means these doctors have a way of checking the body, only then they declare the person is dead or not. Okay, so even before he can use his brains, he already has this shady feeling that he has passed. Okay, and then he says, or solemnly pronounced means he says to his wife that, madam, your husband is croaked. That means your husband is dead. Croaked is dead, crooked is broken. So croaked and crooked are two different words. But after listening to this, she is not upset or she is not in sorrow. She immediately picks up an axe, that is placed beside her husband's bed, and breaks open a room that contains Lord's private papers. She eagerly opened the documents, and the moment she looks at the documents, she falls senseless. Unearthly shriek means, if you would have seen in movies, before falling down, these people make a typical sound. So it's a uh, tone or the voice that comes from their mouth. After making that voice, she falls on the floor. To the curiosity of Sir Everard, he picks up the paper and reads its contents, and he realizes that Lord Oakhurst bequeathing means leaving. He has left all his property to a scientific institution, and the objective of that institution should be that they should try to find the means of extracting alcohol from sawdust. Sawdust is nothing but, if you would have seen carpenters, when they make woods, they scrub the wood to give a particular shape. In that process, they generate sawdust. So the powder of wood or apply is called sawdust. Okay, realizing that, the doctor sees that no one is around the room. Okay, so he drops the will, and he rapidly takes some valuable ornaments and rare specimens of gold and silver into his pocket, and rings the bell for the servant. So he rings the bell for the servant, so that the servant should know that his lord or their lord is dead, so please take care of him now. And now he starts running. So he starts descending the stairway. So he's going down the stairway of the castle and passed out into the avenue. Avenue is the pathway. Okay, so he passed out into the pathway that leads to the doorway of the great iron gate of the park. So, okay, now Lord Oakhurst had been, so in his young days, he was also a great sportsman. So he always kept a well-stocked kennels of curs. That means dogs, unkempt dogs. So you can call them as untrained dogs, the dogs who are very ferocious. Okay, which now rushed out of their hiding place from their kennels, and with strong barking sprang upon the physician. So when they saw the physician is stealing something from the house, they ran up to him, and burying their fangs is those canine teeth of dogs. Okay, burying their fangs, that means they actually attacked him and bit him, on his limbs, and then damaging his apparel severely. Sir Everard, startled out of his professional dignity, gave vent to a most horrible and blighting curse. So there was a curse. Okay, whomever treats Lord Oakhurst badly. So it can be anything, maybe cursing Lord or maybe stealing something from Lord. Okay, if someone does that, he gets a curse. Okay, a curse of boomerang. It's not mentioned over there, it's part of the novel actually, hence I'm telling you. It's curse of the boomerang. Boomerang means, if you most would have seen boomerang effect on your Insta or something, that thing keeps on happening again and again and again and again. So if he does something to the Lord, the same thing happens to him. Okay, so he has quite kind of got the curse on himself and ran with great swiftness of his carriage and drove towards the city. Anything that you guys did not understand?
No, misunderstood.
Okay,
I
any
didn't understand the curse part.
the curse part. So I said, the curse is such, it's not clearly given in this passage. Okay, I'm giving you the information from the novel. Okay, the curse is such, if someone treats Lord Oakhurst, okay, I'm talking about the person who's dying. If someone treats Lord Oakhurst badly, okay, the badly can be in any manner. It can be someone fights with him, or someone troubles him, or someone steals from him, or someone kills him. It can be in any manner. If someone does something to him, they get a curse. It's a boomerang curse. Boomerang curse means, if I do a negative to you, that a negative comes back to me. आया समझ में? देवश्री?
Ma'am means if
Yes, miss.
ma'am, if you rob Lord Orcus, then you will also be robbed by someone.
Pardon, Shantanu, your voice is not clear enough.
And if you have robbed Lord Orcus,
Hmm.
then the same will happen to you. You will also be get robbed.
Miss,
Yes. Yes,
miss, your voice is not clear.
my voice is,
Miss, it is clear.
yeah, my net seems to be pretty much good.
Ma'am, it's her net.
Okay, I'll just repeat. See, this is boomerang. I'm giving you this word boomerang to kind of understand the effect. Okay, since you guys are very much active on Insta and FB, the boomerang effect. So when you record something on boomerang, you will see that activity repeats itself. Okay, if you're jumping, you keep on jumping and jumping and jumping, right? So the curse is such that if you do some bad to Lord Oakhurst, it comes back to the person who did bad. Okay, so if person A did something bad to Lord Oakhurst, that bad will come back to person A. Is that clear now, Shantanu?
Miss, the action is reversed.
The action is reversed. Okay, correct, Ananya. Okay, now, or do you need 2 minutes to go through the passage, or should we start answering?
Miss, we can start.
Okay, anyone who wants to go against Parth can tell me. Huh? Okay. Let's start with first question. Give the meaning of coyness. It's on second paragraph, first line. With girlish shyness and coyness at first. Anyone?
Miss, the shyness given by a woman.
So shyness is already given. Na? Coyness is a different quality, but it's a good quality of a woman. Okay, so whenever you go, look out for a new girl, you like someone, you always think the girl is shy and modest. Don't you think so? In fact, पहले के मूवीज में तो वैसे ही दिखाता था. ओके, कि कोई लड़का लड़की को देखने जा रहा है, वो लड़की शर्माती भी थी और मॉडेस्ट भी दिखती थी, राइट? सो दीज आर द टू क्वालिटीज ऑलवेज द बॉयज फॉल फॉर. सो कोइनस इज मॉडेस्टी. Okay, the simplicity. Modesty is more relevant. Okay, second one, tenacity. Anyone? She threw herself onto him and froze there with the tenacity of a tick on a brindled cow? I explained to you actually.
Ability.
Yeah, pardon?
Ability.
Ability, you're saying?
Yes, miss.
Ability of what? Ability to stick or ability to grip something. Okay? Ability to stick or ability to grip something.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Last is brindled. They are describing the cow as brindled.
Having brownish skin.
Having dark streaks. Okay. Zebra को जैसे black streaks होते हैं, right?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
They are called stripes, okay, but they are very much prominently stripes, but these are not that prominent. Okay, let me just show you an image if I can. Just a second. Okay, so this is how a brindled cow would look. Can you see this pattern of lines on the skin?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
So this is brindled cow. Okay, now let's get back to section B, that is answer the following questions. First one, what was Lord Oakhurst's memory about his wife when he wooed her? How had she reacted initially? The first section is asking you, how did he perceive his wife then? That she was? It's on your second paragraph. He remembered how the young lady had. Just
For money,
yeah, pardon, Gauri.
for money,
Formally, no. Read your second.
for money.
For money. Oh, that's the interpretation that we have arrived. Okay, they have not explicitly mentioned that on the paragraph. Locke Oakhurst had a good memory about his wife. What was that?
She was
Ma'am, she
beautiful.
was shy.
Yes. So, Lord Oakhurst's memory about his wife when he wooed her was that she was shy and innocent. Right?
Yes, miss.
You can also use the word charming because they have mentioned it somewhere in the first paragraph. Okay, she was charming and innocent and modest. Okay, you can use any two qualities. Okay, so he remembered her as charming and innocent. Next, how had she reacted initially? Okay, so when Lord proposed her, what was her first reaction? Her first
Ma'am,
reaction?
she threw herself to him.
No. First she hesitated.
Miss, she said to herself an old bald-headed gallot, and after when Lord said that his income is 50,000 euros per year, then he threw herself, saying that Henry, I'm yours.
That's the second reaction. We are just talking about first reaction. First reaction is at first she hesitated with shyness and coolness, if you want to use its meaning, modesty. Okay, so at first she hesitated with shyness and modesty, murmuring to herself about an old bald-headed galoot. Galoot is stupid person. Okay, so let's form an answer.
Yes, miss.
Lord Oakhurst's memory about his wife when he wooed her. Okay, Lord Oakhurst's memory about his wife when he wooed her was that she was charming and innocent. Was that she was charming and innocent. Full stop. At first, comma. At first, she hesitated with shyness and modesty. At first, she hesitated with shyness and modesty, murmuring to herself about an old, bald headed, stupid person. If you want to use galut, you can use that word. Okay. Murmuring to herself about an old, bald headed, stupid person. Let's come to second question. Second question, how had she responded later? Why?
Yes, because hearing of his earning.
Yes. So just put it into a good answer. So she responded later. Okay, how did she responded later? She threw herself on Lord Oakhurst
Like a tick.
like a tick on a brindled cow, right?
Yes, miss.
Why?
Because she heard that his income was 50,000 euros per year.
So we don't say that directly, na beta. ऐसे directly insult नहीं करते. So okay, let me give you the answer. It's she uh, threw herself on Lord's body like a tick on a brindled cow when Lord Oakhurst told her that his life without her would be worthless, and also his income was 50,000 euros a year. Okay. Should I repeat the
Ma'am, can you repeat the last line?
Okay, I'll just give you the answer once again. She threw herself on Lord's body like a tick on a brindled cow when Lord told her that his life without her would be worthless or invaluable, and also his income or earning was 50,000 euros per year, and also his earning or income was 50,000 euros a year or per year. जिस ऑर्डर में क्वेश्चन पूछा है ना उसी ऑर्डर में आंसर देना है. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन वाज हाउ शी रिस्पॉन्डेड, तो फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्स के बारे में ही लिखना है, एंड सेकंड वाज द रीजन व्हाई, सो वी विल गिव द रीजन लेटर ऑन, not the vice versa. Okay, let's come
Yes,
to
miss.
question. Give one evidence that shows that Lady Oakhurst was happy with her husband. Okay, that her husband was dying. So there was this incident, right, when the doctor declares Lord to be dead, and instead of grieving on his body, she suddenly puts picks up the axe and opens his private cabinet to find his will, right? That incident itself tells that she was happy about her husband's death. Now just put it into an answer.
Miss, may I try?
Yeah.
When Sir Everhard told the lady that, Madam, your husband has croaked, She immediately took the axe besides her husband. Instead of grieving on her husband and crying, she went to her husband's cabin and struck it open and saw the will and saw the will.
Okay. Now, apart, what if I tell you this is just a 1 mark answer? Would you write such a big answer?
No, miss.
So I gave you the reference point कि answer कहाँ पे है. Just give me one liner, ना? No one? Yeah,
Miss, can I try?
yeah, please.
Upon hearing her husband's death, instead of grieving, Lady Oakhurst picked up an axe and struck her husband's cabinet open.
Why did she do that? Can you tell me that? Why did she open the cabinet and open the will? She was expecting something, right?
Yes, miss.
So what was her
Yes, ma'am.
expectation?
Money.
She thought that her husband will give him all his property.
Right? So see what you guys are doing is जो passage में दिया है ना वही आप लोग उठा के मुझे बार बार बोल रहे हो उसका interpretation निकालो ना. Right? So the okay, Lady Oakhurst was happy that her husband was dying, okay, assuming that Lord Oakhurst would have left all his property to her. Correct? This is one point. She was happy because she thought that Lord have left or has left all the property to her. The evidence to this is that she opened his private room with an axe looking for his will. Those sentence. The answer is done. Okay, the first sentence should be Lady Oakhurst was happy that her husband was dying in the hope that the Lord will leave all his property to her, full stop. The evidence to this is that she opened his private room. If you want to mention the acts, you can mention or you can skip. She tried to open his private room in search of his will. This is the evidence of our first sentence. Clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Start interpreting, interpreting the passages and making your own answers. Not always will you find the wordings in the passage. You have to understand and give the derived answers. Fourth question, what did Lady Oakhurst do when she heard of her husband's death? It's simple. This is simple.
Miss, when Lady Oakhurst heard about her husband's death, she fainted due to shock.
No. उसके बीच में क्या हुआ?
After seeing her husband's will, she fainted.
और भी कुछ हुआ?
No, she said something.
No, the
And
immediate
she
action.
strike.
Yeah,
She strike.
Picked an axe.
yeah. Lady Oakhurst picked the axe that normally her husband kept beside his bed, struck open his private room, read his will, and then she fainted. Right? That is the sequence. So put the answer in that sequence. On hearing her husband's death, okay, on hearing her husband's death, Lady Oakhurst struck open Lord's private cabinet or room. What is the word they have used? Okay, cabinet. Okay. Lady Oakhurst struck open Lord's private cabinet in search of the will. That's it. That is what she did, na? On hearing his death. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss.
I'll repeat. On hearing her husband's death, Lady Oakhurst struck open Lord's private cabinet in search of his will. Fifth question. What did the doctor find when he read Lord Oakhurst's will? I want someone new. Adarsh, can you try answering this one? Nidhi? Some new voices, come on. Sab soye hue hain. Shantanu, can you try this one? Trust me, my can is not. Yeah, please.
I don't remember much, but the last line, can I read it again?
Yeah, you can.
The paragraph. The last line of the paragraph.
Okay, you want me to scroll it. Okay.
What's the question?
The question is, what did the doctor find when he read Lord Oakhurst's will?
Ma'am, the doctor find some valuable. Ma'am, he dropped the. Ma'am, sir, ever heard glanced quickly around the room. No one was in sight. And it is this.
It's
I'm
not
just reading the paragraph.
Hold on. Shantanu, listen the questions carefully. What did the doctor find when he read Lord Oakhurst's will? तो उसने will में क्या पाया?
Ma'am, can I try?
Ma'am, he rapidly dropped the will and transferred some valuable ornaments and rare specimens of gold and silver
No.
from the central table to his pocket.
That is after.
No, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It was. Wait, ma'am. Ma'am, it was the scientific institution.
Yeah. So give
Which
me a proper answer, na? What did he read there?
Yes, ma'am. When Lady Oakhurst fell senseless to the floor, Sir Everard picked up the paper and read its contents. It was Lord Oakhurst's will, bequeathing all his property to a scientific institution which should have for its object the invention of a means for extracting alcohol from sawdust.
The passage, right? Now tell me what he actually read. तुमको क्या समझ में आया? उसने लॉर्ड ओकर्स्ट ने क्या किया?
And Lord Oakhurst gave all his property to a scientific institution.
I want you to give this answer only, Shantanu.
He found that Lord Oakhurst named his property to a scientific institution.
With the object?
Yes, with the object of invention of extracting alcohol.
Okay. So on reading Lord Oakhurst's will, doctor found that he left all his property to a scientific institution with the objective to invent the means of extracting alcohol from sawdust. That's the answer. Okay, I'll repeat. On reading Lord Oakhurst's will, doctor found that the Lord had left all his property to a scientific institution with the objective to invent the means of extracting alcohol from sawdust. Okay. Now coming to your C question, that is summary question. I'm not giving you the complete answer over here, but I can give you the pointers that you must be including. Okay. In not more than 50 words, state how Lord Oakhurst worked on people associated with him. Okay, now they are talking about doctor. So doctor is the one who did wrong to Lord Oakhurst, and how did the curse work upon him? So first of all, we will talk about the curse. Okay, the curse is that the people who treated him badly will experience the law of boomerang, right? That is about the curse.
Yes.
Okay, now how it worked that on declaring Lord Oakhurst dead, the doctor stole some of his valuable ornaments and started running towards the iron gates. Okay, while running, his hidden hounds are those unkempt dogs, or those what do you say, wolves, you can call them. Those dogs sprang upon him, burying their fangs, or you can say canines, on his lower limbs and damaging his apparel. This is all that is required to be written. I just want you to put in a proper format of 50 words, rough and fair, and send it to me. Can you guys do that? I have already given you the answer. Just put it.
Yes, miss.
Oh,
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
let's come to your next question. That is question 5B. We were done with question 5A, so we'll come to B part now. Filling the blanks with appropriate words. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Write down your answers.
Done, miss.
Everyone else is done? Okay.
Yes, miss.
Moment I call out the name, please give me the answer along with the question. So read the whole sentence with the answer of your blank. Nidhi, first question. Nidhi? Nidhi, am I at least audible to you? Okay, I'm going to start this practice now onwards, and I'm being serious. Moment the child doesn't answer me, I'm going to remove him or her from the meeting. Okay, let's not stock up garbage in the class.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, Garima.
I have to make up some story to explain my late arrival.
That's correct. Makeup means to think or to fabricate or to frame. Okay, so something that is not true. So I have to make up some story to explain my late arrival. Nidhi, next time you don't answer, I'm removing you from the class. So you can talk me on, with me on the phone if you want. Second, Isha. Isha,
Yes, ma'am. Do you approve of his suggestion?
approve of. That means, do you agree with? Approve of means agree with. Third, the mayor gave Dash the prizes at the school sports day. Gauri.
Miss, know that, but can I tell you the fourth one?
That's fine, Nidhi. You don't have, sorry, you don't have the answer for third one.
No, miss, I'm not getting that. Sorry.
Miss, may I?
Yeah, Aditya.
Miss, the mayor gave away the prizes at the school sports day.
Gave away is correct, or gave up is also correct. Okay. Fourth one, yes, Gauri, you have answer for this one.
Yes, miss. You pay either by check or by cash.
Okay. See, by cash grammatically is correct, but normally we say I pay in cash. Okay. When it is about cash payment, we say in.
Yes, ma'am.
When it is about check, we say buy. This is a normal, what do you say, a trend of speaking something. Okay. Grammatically, buy is also correct. Okay. But whenever we say, you always say I pay in cash. Okay. Fifth one,
Yes, ma'am.
Parth. Fifth one, Parth, are you there?
Yes, miss. Miss, wait a second. The novel has been translated to many languages.
Two or even into is fine over here.
It's in,
Miss, in.
I guess.
Translated in many languages. So I said in is also correct, into is also correct. Okay. In and to are actually two separate words. Okay. But when we say it's into, we combine it. So a novel has been translated in many languages, or the novel has been translated in too many languages. आया समझ में, दोनों में pause आता है. So whichever you prefer. Sixth one, the quarrel. Okay, he quarreled with his friend dash Trifle. Shivanjali. Shivanjali, are you there? Okay, I have an answer.
Miss, can I?
Yes, Ananya.
He quarreled with his friend for a trifle.
Over a trifle.
For a trifle.
Over. Okay, we always fight over a issue. Okay, so when it's about a fight and the issue, over is the preposition you use. Next, we should not always go dash.
And for non-living things, for.
Yeah. Seventh one, Garima.
We should not always go on appearances.
Go on appearances.
Miss,
Yes.
no, miss, I was having doubt in seventh one.
Go after appearances. Don't go after his.
Surprise appearance.
Yeah, Shantanu. Seventh answer is after. We should not go after appearances. Go after means getting influenced by or making a false assumption about someone. Don't go after his dressing sense. Don't go after his dialect. Are you getting me?
So what is dialect?
Dialect means, for example, when we talk in Marathi, we talk in normal Marathi. But if I get someone from, a village, his dialect, his style of
Accent.
speaking Marathi is very different. So his dialect is different.
Accent.
Accent is one thing, dialect is different, a little different. Okay. Next, he went dash a ride on his new car. Sorry, in his new car. Yeah, Manthan.
He went on a ride in his new car.
Correct. Okay, very simple. C. Okay, we'll just finish the C part before winding up. Join the following sentences to make one complete sentence. 2 minutes. Please try.
Done, miss.
Okay, let's start with the first one. Shantanu, you had the answer, right? We reached the hall, the examination had begun. You can give the answer.
When we reached the hall, the examination had sorry, ma'am.
When we reached the hall, the examination had already started.
Yes,
Miss,
ma'am.
can I
Same.
Miss,
try?
can I?
Just a second. Gauri, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. As soon as we reached the hall, the examination began.
Mm, As soon as we reached the hall, the examination began.
Began.
Uh, they are not giving you, the feeling that it happened just before you reached. It's only the
Ma'am, may I?
afterward. Yeah.
The examination had begun when we reached the hall.
Had already begun when we reached the hall. Okay, let me give you the simple answer. Okay. We reached the hall after the examination had begun. Isn't that simple enough? We reached the
Yes,
hall
ma'am.
after the examination had begun. No commas required. After is acting as a conjunction. Okay. Let's come to the second question. Manav may join me, he may not join me. I don't care. Okay. They are giving you both the situations.
Miss, can I?
Yes, Ananya.
I don't care if Manav joins me or not.
I don't care if Manav joins me or not. Full stop. That's correct.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can weather come here?
Can you give me your complete answer?
I don't care whether Manav wants to join me or not.
Whether Manav joins me or not. Okay. You can just replace if with whether. That's the only change required. Third one. It is very cold. We can't wear cotton clothes. So this is like a causal
Yes,
relation.
ma'am.
Yeah. Aditya.
Since it's very cold, we can't wear cotton clothes.
Since it is very cold, we can't
Cold, we
wear
can't
cotton clothes.
cotton clothes.
Since it is very cold, comma, we can't
Yes,
wear
miss.
cotton clothes. Okay, as I have already told you, when we use or we when we use conjunction at the start of the sentence, okay, the place where the sentences are actually joining should need a comma. Okay, or if you want to put it this way, we can skip the comma. We can't wear cotton clothes since it is very cold. So in this way you can skip the comma. Okay, fourth one, you helped him, he will be grateful to you. Garima.
Yes, ma'am. Since you helped him, he will be grateful to you.
Okay. Any more variant?
Yes.
Ma'am, can I try?
If you helped him,
Yeah, Aditya.
if you helped him, he will be grateful to you.
If you help, mm, if you help him, nahi, helped him, hai na? He will be
Yes,
grateful.
it is past.
Yeah. So if nahi chalega.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Who else? No one else? Krish, I haven't heard from you anytime soon. Krish? Anyone having a different answer? Or should I give the answer? What simple hai?
Ma'am, can
Yes, Devashri. Devashri, you had an answer?
no, ma'am, I was saying that can you answer?
Okay, he will be grateful to you for or because, you can use either of them, you helped him. He will be grateful to you for you helped him, or he will be grateful to you because you helped him. It was a simple answer. wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts, guys?
No, miss.
Okay.
No,
So
ma'am.
we'll wind up today's lecture over here. Next lecture, we'll continue the worksheet. That is only a small part is left. Okay. Okay, fine. That's all. Bye bye. Take care. See you in the next lecture.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye bye.